Okay, I'm here. I know. Just doing the Discord stuff. Yeah, so it's brainstorming time again. I was supposed to be here a bit earlier, but I was stuck playing a game. I was stuck playing Age of Mythology again. And there's just this one very persistent enemy that wouldn't die. Kept throwing units at it, and it just wouldn't die. I know what to do to murder it to death, but I was basically just like kind of just like trickle killing it. I basically set all of my. Nobody's going to care about this really. I'm just explaining why this took an extra hour, which I could have just played The Sims. I could have just played The Sims because I'm not playing. I wasn't playing it online with anybody. I was just playing it by myself. So yeah. But yeah, so what happens is normally I build an army and I go send an entire army off to go destroy this one, this base. However, I set all of my buildings to produce people for an army, but I basically set their waypoint, their end point where they all meet up at the enemy base to just destroy it. So I was just idly clicking, just click, 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 just clicking, sending them off to their doom. And I was like, you know what? I've done this for an hour and they're not dying. How are they not dying? It doesn't make sense. They kept sending things over to me, and then they got destroyed because I always make really awesome bases that could never be defeated. So yeah, they'd come, they'd die, and meanwhile there'd be a steady stream of just marching soldiers over to the bad guys, but they would all get killed once they would get there. So yeah, I saved the game. I'm gonna go destroy them later, but it really fucks with my eyesight. So yeah. So what I've been up to today, like I said, I'd taken the day off. I was gonna just not do anything. Um, and that was not a good idea because I've just been feeling guilty all day still about what I did a couple of days ago. And Damon still hasn't forgiven me, so yeah, it's really annoying because we had such a good weekend. Just for a whole weekend to be fucked up like that, just not cool. I am a dingus. Anyway, yeah, I was supposed to be here earlier, and I was basically waiting for myself to get hungry, because when I feel like I've done something wrong, when I feel real shame about what I've done and stuff like that, I kind of don't. I feel worthless. I don't really feel. It completely murders my hunger. I'm not hungry, but I was supposed to eat something now. And instead, I came online. Um, but yeah, I know there's cheese and crackers in the house. I do. But yeah. Ugh. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I feel terrible and I don't know what to do about it. I hate this. It's like when I don't know if anybody's had their heart broken, like completely broken before. It's happened to me a couple of times. Just the mega rejection that you feel, you know, it's kind of like it's really annoying. It's kind of like that, but slightly different, I guess. You know, I just feel awful. I can't stop thinking about this one thing that I did, and it's so annoying. But how are you, Roscoe? What's up? Well, I'm waiting for that. Um, yeah. I mean, like, I've experienced it a couple of times, and it's not really. I've never really experienced it when it comes to work stuff. You know, like being rejected from like a job offer, or basically from like a university offer or anything. You know, I applied to the college and university that I wanted, and I got it. Um, Job offers just were a thing that I sent out a bunch of, like, you know, CVs and cover letters and stuff like that. I got them. You know, you get rejected for most of them, and that's kind of expected. And you get interviews for some of them, and that's it. But I've never really been kind of. I've never really had that kind of like sucky feeling before, and it's just kind of it just feels like the two times where I basically have been screwed over emotionally. Only this time I've done it to myself, and it sucked. I like this. I'm having a mini pity party, and I just saw the viewers go down to 0, which is impossible because I am watching my own stream. So I don't know how that works. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I mean, like the first time I ever had this kind of feeling was when I admitted to my best friend that I had feelings for her. In high school, I basically, it was kind of like she was my sister, so it was very strange. Because our parents are best friends, and we've known each other since we were little kids. So, like I said, it was weird that I had feelings for her, and it might literally have been just because she was the, I don't know. But basically, I told her that, like, we knew that we loved each other, but it was more like a love, like a best friend love. You know, like I said, it was like she was my sister, but it was weird because, you know, you're developing these feelings for the first time. Um, and I developed these feelings, and kind of I thought that I was detecting that she had developed these feelings also for me. So it was one of those things of, like, at one of the I think it was one of her, I think it was her auntie's engagement party or something. But we went there together. I basically I gathered up the strength to basically just say, it's like, do you want to go get a drink at the back? So we went to the back of the of this big hall, and it was sort of secluded. There wasn't really anybody there. But I straight out told her, it's like, look, I think I have feelings for you. I think I have, like, I think I love you in more than the traditional way of just loving your sister, you know. And I don't know if this will be weird, and I don't want to screw over our friendship, but do you think this is a thing? And she basically said, I think you're just having, you know, I think you're having second thoughts because um, she knew all about Ellen. who was my girlfriend, but we were always very open with each other. We weren't exclusive. We were exclusively in love, but we weren't exclusive because she lived in a different part of the town, like the actual city, like of Romford is basically split up into the sections and stuff like that, and they were individual towns even. So yeah, she lived in a different one completely to me. So we never really kind of like properly linked up full-time boyfriend girlfriend until like high school was just ending, until like the last year of high school, and then kind of like a little bit after that. But we'd basically been boyfriend girlfriend since I was 15. So yeah. Other side of the town dating. Yes, it was that. It was that kind of situation. And it was really irritating to some of my friends because they were under the impression that she never existed. This is the annoying thing. I hate this. You know, the whole thing about like, it's like, do you have a girlfriend? It's like, yeah, I do, but she's in a different school. It's like, oh, okay. She's in Canada. You won't know her. She's in Canada. No, no. I basically had that whole thing for the entire time, and it was really irritating because, like, you know, schools left at the same time, so she couldn't be waiting for me at the gate of my school, and I couldn't be waiting at the gate of her school. She had the exact same situation, but she went to an all-girls school, so they all had boyfriends that went to different schools in her school because she went to an all-girls school. But I had the whole thing of like, I went to a mixed school, so you know, it's like, why can't you get a girlfriend in this school? It's like, you know what, fine, I will then. So we basically had the thing of like, it's okay, we totally understand, we are young, we basically have the problem of living far enough away from each other that we can't see each other all the time. So it's okay if we see each other, it's just see other people. You know, that makes total sense because I can't be there for her needs all the time. Again, until the last year, where basically we could just get out of school whenever we wanted to. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I had the issue of basically of that happening, and some of my friends basically they had met her, so it was okay eventually, because you know, like once one friend meets your girlfriend from another school in Canada, whatever, then basically you've got an ally. Then they'll basically say it's like I didn't give a shit if somebody said it's like, oh, okay, sure she's real. You know, I never really gave a shit, but once I did have those couple of friends that actually met her, and when she came to the prom with me and stuff like that, and basically like it was one of those situations where it was like, it's like, sure she's real. It's like, yeah, she's real. Just ask, ask Sean, ask David, ask any of them, any of my friends. It's like and they'll be like, yep, yeah, no, she's real. She exists. She's hot. Anyway, my basically when I told my best friend that basically I had feelings for her also, and she was basically just saying it's like, I think you're just having second thoughts about Ellen, about your girlfriend and stuff like that, because she had a boyfriend, but it wasn't really serious. I knew that she had a boyfriend as well, but whatever. Not Ellen. Um, my best friend. But it wasn't really that serious. They weren't really. It was more just a kind of like, I'm with him because I want to experiment around with somebody that I haven't known my whole life, you know. Um, so at least that's what it felt like, anyway. So yeah, I told her that basically that I had my feelings for her and all that stuff, and she basically said to me that I don't think we should do this because it would screw up our friendship. And I was like, okay, no, that makes sense. I get it. But inside, I was like, owie, like super owie. I hate this like so much. This feeling sucks, like mega sucks. Um. So yeah. And it kind of feels like that, it's a little bit like that. But also, um, I mean, I have experienced something mega depressing with my first boyfriend, obviously. Um, but this doesn't feel that bad. It still feels pretty bad, but it doesn't feel that bad. But I would say that this feeling that I'm feeling now, even though I caused this feeling, is more akin to when Ellen left. By the way, me and my best friend, we did hook up basically like not the next day, but the day after. She basically messaged me. She texted me, not messaged me. She texted me saying that she wanted to meet up to have like a a, a a teenage coffee. The whole thing of like, it's like we just went out to like a McDonald's or something. And we actually did hook up and basically did become um, sort of boyfriend and girlfriend for a while, and that was actually kind of fun because we didn't really officially break up. It was one of those. It was a weird situation where it was just an addition to our friendship that we also sort of played around with each other a little bit and went out on proper dates and stuff. Even though we would go out to these places together anyway, it was kind of like, "Want to go to the cinema? Yeah, sure." As boyfriend girlfriend, yeah, okay. It was kind of one of those kind of weird situations. And then eventually we just kind of we slowly drifted apart from the boyfriend girlfriend thing, but we still hung out equally as much. It was weird. We never officially broke up. It was just kind of one of those things of like, this isn't really a thing. I don't think this is a sustainable thing, especially since she was very very interested physically with another guy, and I was still with Ellen. So yeah. Anyway, the night Ellen left, I was truly heartbroken, and that's what this feeling is like. Um, Basically, there was a situation where the situation was that we were both sick. We were both kind of ill. Um, and what oh my god, we were both really really not well. We both had like a flu kind of thing. We were both kind of like gross snotty messes. I guess would be the thing. Um, and we kind of it was New Year's, and there's a hill in a park that you can see all of London, and it wasn't particularly a super cold kind of New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever. And we wanted to see the fireworks. So we took this giant heavy duvet cover, and from my house we walked all the way to the park, up the hill, and we were both still very sick. We were both ill. You know, we had like a little thermos of kind of like Bailey's hot chocolate, and we stood on top of the hill. We were going to sit down, but it was very kind of like damp, the grass there, even though it didn't rain for a couple of nights. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we watched the fireworks together. It was very romantic. We were kind of huddled up in this giant duvet cover together, just watching the fireworks in the distance in London. I couldn't really see half of them because of the fog, and there wasn't really fog. It was just clouds, but it was just far away. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was romantic. It was so, again, snotty and gross. And yeah, it was nice. We were only there for like 20 minutes or so, and then we came back home, and we finished our thermos of drunk hot chocolate. Had some lemon sips or hot lemon drink for our sickness. And then we kind of both fell asleep in my bed. And I remember waking up a couple of times. I woke up because like she got up, and then, but I wasn't fully awake because I was still sick and stuff. So and I didn't need to pee at the time or whatever. So I didn't fully wake up. I just remember waking up, like she got up, and then I remember waking up again slightly when she kissed me, and I thought she was going back to the toilet again. And it was light outside, so it must have been like early. I don't know. But when I got up properly, around about midday-ish, again I was really sick. I found a note, a letter, basically saying that she was leaving, and that she'd probably already left. Basically, there was no chance of me finding her. And that was really sad. And that kind of heartbreak was the thing that really is kind of what I'm feeling right now. And I didn't know what to do, and I don't know what to do now. And it's just it's annoying. But yeah. The situation there, by the way, was that her family was moving back to America. So she was just not old enough to fully support herself in the UK. So she had to move back with her family. She'd known about this for months, apparently. But she basically didn't want to tell me because she didn't want to. This was all explained in the note, just so you know. She didn't want to tell me because she didn't want me to try to, like, convince her to stay. Because I totally would have. Or she didn't want me to kind of, like, throw my life away where I lived. Even though I totally would have, because it sucked anyway, to come follow her to America. It was completely actually a grown-up, responsible thing to do. I just wish that she fucking told me. so she basically said that she had a wonderful night. It was a wonderful ending to her relationship, and she was super sorry. She was super sad, you guys. And that yeah, hopefully I'll be able to talk to her. Yeah, hopefully I could forgive her and we'll be able to talk to her and stuff. The weird part is I was never mad at her. I was never mad at her. She explained herself so right, well in this letter. It was like, I totally get this. However, it still makes me feel horrible because now I don't have her in my life anymore, and it sucks. Ugh. Me and her talk all the time now. By the way, it's actually kind of cool. She lives in Portland. She's married to a guy who looks exactly like me, but is American, which is so funny. Anyway, yeah. So I feel kind of like that. Only this time it's because I'm feeling badness because I did something bad, and it's not going away, and I don't know what to do about it. I know I keep saying that, but the thoughts just keep coming back to me, so that's fun. I do like how Roscoe said, "But you have a good night." I'm not gonna have a good night. I'm bummed. I'm yeah. But yeah, those are the only two real kind of like heartbreaky moments that I've had. I mean, of course, I've had a super heartbreaky moment, but there's absolutely nothing I could do about that. That's just the fates fucking with me. I mean, there are things I could have done differently, but I didn't know what I know now. So yeah, yeah, I'm feeling bad physically as well. I don't know what it is, but I think that um, the cold that I had has come back just because I am I'm bummed out. I don't know. This is really annoying as well because it's not depression. It's a different kind of depression. It's not. It's a hormone imbalance that I did to myself. It's sorry, a chemical imbalance that I've done to myself. So yeah, I'm feeling bad for a reason. So that's annoying. I don't know. Still looking for ideas for these things, by the way. You can see the ticker. Then yeah. Oh my god. I mean, I was kind of hoping that we could like share sort of sob stories with each other, but it's not working. I'm just telling you guys my bad feelings and stuff. But yeah, this definitely isn't as at the same level as when Craig died. That is still super depressing. That bit. All the time that we thought that we lost Itchy. Oh my god, was that was more panicky kind of despair, I guess, than actual like full on despair because we didn't lose him. So that was good. Ugh. I could go onto the psychological side of it and basically say that the reason why I'm not eating anything right now, and the reason why I'm basically okay with it being just above freezing in my office. It's about 5 degrees C here in my office. Do you see that? I can see my breath, so I know it's cold, but I'm kind of not doing anything about it. It's because I'm kind of punishing myself, I guess. Why am I so itchy? Yeah, a few years back now, he basically had a suicide attempt, but he didn't go through with it, which is good, obviously. So yeah, like I said, that was more panicky despair, because he basically sent me a message saying that whatever's about to happen isn't my fault or whatever, and I basically was yelling at him through Discord. It's like whatever you're doing, stop it, or whatever, you know. But he just kept saying goodbye. You won't be able to do anything about it. It's fine. I'm okay. It's gonna be okay, and all that stuff. And I was just like, how do I call like emergency services? But obviously more panicky. It was terrible. It was bad. He's a naughty. He's a very very naughty chihuahua. But he won't ever do that again. I have his word. So yeah. Although whenever he's near water now, I am terrified ish. There's a part of me that's terrified whenever he goes near water now. But yeah. But yeah, when you feel super bummed this way, it's basically like I said, you don't know what to do to make yourself feel better. Like even though there's nothing you can really do, you have no idea what to do to make yourself feel better. So basically, like I said, when Ellen left, there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do. I'd basically been given no options to get over it. You just there was nothing I could do. Um, so I just felt bad, but I couldn't. I understand the reasoning behind why she left and what the whole the whole situation that led up to this and everything. I understood it. I understood completely all of the situations, and it's like, yes, I should feel bad that she's not around anymore. That's super sad. Why do I still feel like this for 3 months? Why do I still feel super bummed out about this 3 months later? It's all I can think about is just how super bummed out this is making me. And this is the exact same situation I've got right now. It's kind of like that. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just really sad about it, and I just don't know what I can do to stop myself from feeling this way a lot, and it's so annoying. So yeah, I'm afraid I don't have any sad stories, save for an ending of a chapter of my life, of a project I've been working on the last 6 months. Did you just message me with a friend? I think I need more context. Was that you? Did you just message me? If you're interested, I asked. It's in a trailer. For what? I'm trying to read this properly. An ending of a chapter of my life of a project I've been working. Yeah. Yeah, but well, 6 months isn't really your life. I mean, we're getting to half of my life almost has been with Damon, and I don't want it to happen, but this could end our relationship. So that is a chapter of my life. So yeah. Oh, fine. I'll do it. I mean, I'm just curious now because you have given me no context. Well, that's a little bit creepy because it's a link with no like preview clip or anything to it, and those are bad. How do I open this without it being on my browser? Can I put it on this browser? On this computer? This is fairly isolated. It won't let me. Ugh. Copy link. Here we go. I'll open a new tab here and put it in here. Paste. My voice is really going, isn't it? I need more drinks. I need liquids. It is a YouTube link. Woo! There's adverts. I can't see the chat right now. So, yeah. Oh, I know that place. You know, the big circular um, the building with the you know, the station house train, the train storage place. I know that place. I do. It's a long trailer. Well, I guess it's get out because trains. It's a long trailer. It's a thing. So what did you do for this roundhouse? Yeah. Um. So what did you do for this? What's up with David? David. When I send YouTube links via Messenger to friends in the UK, it doesn't show the preview thing. That is weird. Yeah. Hey, Panfox. 9 out of 10 of those films I'd be credited in. Okay. What did you do with them? For them? Ugh. Did you know in the UK there's just like there are tons of train like museums and like they're parts of museums and stuff. Like I went to Beamish and they've got like a couple of working trains like there, like train tracks there, as well as an electric train track. Um, you know, like a tram line that goes around the entire place and stuff. And it's just like people won't know about this train, the train part of this living museum, unless you advertise it. But they don't advertise it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Can you post a link here, or won't it let you? I guess it won't let you on here. But yeah, neat. But yeah, there are train museums all over the place. Like there's one not so far from here. Um, that way. Oh no, that's not true. It's that way. And that's just a train museum. And that's fun. It's kind of small for what you expect it to be, but it's fun. Um, they were like, "We're hiring and it was just really funny because the whole "we're hiring" thing, it's very it's very misleading, because you ask them about it and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're always looking for volunteers," and it's like, so you're not really hiring. This isn't a paid job. Like, they're like, "No, but it's kind of hiring." It's like, it's not really hiring if you're not paying. Bastards. Anyway, yeah. But there's also like there's like two train museums in Peterborough, which is just back there, and there's ton. There's just so tons. They're just everywhere. Was a location scout. Shot a few bits of film of some action. Oh, shut up! I'm not tired. Was behind the camera with a friend. Was presenting in front of the camera. Travelled a bit to new places. Got in contact with executives. Okay. Yeah, you know about that one. Um, but yeah, there's a couple of places in Peterborough that are like train museums. But you go around the UK. Every time I've been somewhere recently, I keep noticing train stuff, and it's so annoying. I was actually going to, and this has been done several times by several people now. It's really annoying. I was actually going to go to around the UK, on the coast via railway. I was going to go to all the coastal towns of the UK by railway. I was going to write a book on it. Somebody did that. I was going to go look at all of the lost railways around the coast of the UK, because or even some of the internal ones. It's just that the coast, I always want to be by the seaside. So I was like, this is kind of like my little retirement project, I guess, for if I ever decide to just, retire from something. Like, I'd go do this. And then somebody done that and made a TV show about it. And then I was just going to walk the coast of the UK. um, and I've just seen a book about that. It's like, fuck you. So yeah, all of my projects are kind of a bit screwed up. I was going to go to all the parks in London, and I was actually going to do that fairly recently, like just before I moved here. That was going to be one of my major projects, and I was researching this project. I was going to write a book about all the parks in London, because I've been to a lot of them, and some of them have really fascinating histories, and some of them are lost parks as well. And I was going to write a book on them, and like an actual proper book about them. And like I said, I was researching it, and I had a lot of material for two of these parks that don't no longer exist, and also one that exists kind of near Greenwich. And basically, I was doing research. Like I said, I was doing research, and then all of a sudden, I came up. It was just really annoying because I at the fucking library there was a book that said Parks and Lost Parks of London, and I was like, I hate the world. I hate this planet. So yeah. How are you, Panafox? What have you been up to? Well, your country is one of the best in railway preservation. Well, yeah, we did it first, so that makes sense. Well, England did it first. It was a whole big thing. I'm an immigrant, remember. So they would. Well, it's not my idea anymore if basically somebody's already done it. I understand giving a fresh perspective on it, but it's essentially the exact book I was going to write. You know? So, yeah. And the TV shows about the coastal trips and stuff like that were kind of, were based on books, or basically there was an accompanying book with the series, and they had a budget as well. I don't have a budget for any of these ideas, because like the whole point is that you have to be able to afford rail travel around the entirety of the United Kingdom, and that is really not inexpensive. We're talking thousands, you know, possibly thousands just in rail tickets alone. This doesn't account for like accommodations and like catering, especially. It's just, it's annoying. Just got find a way to make it your own, a different angle of some sort. The thing about the parks one was cool because that doesn't cost anything at all. That project didn't cost anything because I lived in London, so it was like, yeah. In my country or Ireland. Um, yeah. So it's just my ideas for my retirement ideas. I got like 4 different book ideas and two like small businesses that I want to do for my basically my retirement. So yeah. Yeah, I'm hungry. I just don't want to. I kind of am punishing myself by not eating anything. Your country you live in now, I guess. But I do want to go to Ireland next. Ireland's lovely. Maybe I could do it about Ireland. But the thing is that a lot of Irish history is essentially kind of like, if I want to write about the Irish history of the railways in Ireland, it's going to be a lot of, and then the British happened, and they kind of, tried to oppress the Irish people and made the Irish people make these railways and stuff like that, and it was all terrible. You know, a lot of that is stuff like that. I mean, a lot of it is like that. There are some really cool stuff. There's some cool there's cool stuff. Even, by the way, even ancient history, you know, even going back beyond like medieval times, or if we even going to medieval times, and like even the pre 1,000 years ago kind of stuff. Um, a lot of it is, and then the British fucked over Ireland. It's really annoying. The British really seem to want to fuck over Ireland a lot. It's like there were lots of druids and pagan beliefs and Celtic beliefs and stuff like that. And then the English came with their Catholicism and really wanted to screw over Ireland. It's like, oh, good. It happens a lot, like so much. The English really, really hated fucking Ireland. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't get it. They're the loveliest people on the planet, and the English really want to screw them over. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Please don't do that. What? I deserve to be punished, okay? I deserve to not put the heating on and not to eat anything. I've been bad. I've heard tales British want to fuck a lot of things. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna stop this right now. I'm just saying, in history, I don't know what kind of joke that is exactly, but yeah, I have noticed a bunch of like England and British bashing that keeps happening throughout every modern documentary about anything ever has always got to do with like, and then the British, well, with their imperialism and their colonization and stuff like that. It's like, I'm gonna stop you right there. They did a lot of good. I hate this. I hate having to defend the British. I really do. They did a lot of good as well as bad shit, and just they never get credit for the good shit they did, just all the bad shit, and it's so annoying because it's not like they haven't repaid like a bunch of bad shit that they have done, and it's just, yeah, it just bugs me. It just bugs me a lot. Like I was watching Miss Marvel just a couple of months ago, and I was like, could you please just enough with the petition bullshit? It's like the British enforced the petition, and it's like I don't care. I do not care. It's not as enforced as you would like to believe. A lot of it was done internally. So fucking shut up. It's just, oh my god. Look it up. It's really not. It's it was basically a thing of like the British did do some bad stuff, but the Pakistan and the is it India? The Pakistan and India side of things really kind of then started to enforce it. So I'm done. I'm done with that. It's so annoying. In history, of course. In history, yeah. Oh, agreed. Same with all of human culture. Everyone just seems to focus on the bad instead of the good. It seems to be, especially now. You know, especially now. Right now, I don't know what it is, but like history seems to be want to be rewritten and things, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like wasn't there like a huge argument? I mean, I would know about this more than you because it's happening here. But there's like a bunch of statues and stuff of people that keep getting taken down in England. In England, of famous English people, because they didn't have the appropriate messages written on the descriptions of these statues, i.e., the oh my god, who is the guy? Who was I fucking knew this. In Bristol, there was a statue of the guy who basically ended slave trade in the UK. You know, in the UK's there was never any slave trade here, by the way, in England. There was never any slave trade in England. But the British Empire did, again, the super early British Empire basically did do a bit of slave trading. And I will say a bit, like the amount of overall slave trading that's ever happened in the history of the planet, the English part of it was just really tiny compared to the rest of it that's happened. If you look at it, I'm not trying to defend slave trading, by the way. I especially hate it now. It's still happening. But what are you going to do? But yeah, they were basically, there was a guy who enforced, who set up the rules and enforced the Royal Navy of the British Empire, you know, for them to stop slave trading wherever they saw it. Whenever they saw it happen and stuff, this guy basically made the rules for the British Navy to stop slave trading happening in places. And he has a statue in Bristol. But it was taken down because, like, in his early career, he was one of the people that did he did the bookkeeping for some of the slave traders in like the West Indies or something. And it's like, so they want that written on the statue. And it's like, well, we're not going to write that on the statue. There's only a finite amount of space on this statue's plaque. So we're not going to write that on the statue. That, oh, by the way, also he did this. Like, he did partake in some terrible shit that happened in history. And it was like, okay, we're going to take the statue down then. It's like, fuck off. It's been there for ages. Go away. Anyway, stuff like this. This is happening a lot. Oh my God. Churchill. It's the classic one. Churchill. Everyone hates Churchill now. What the fuck? No idea about there. Here, lots of Confederate soldier statues are being brought down. Excuse me. I see the thing about the Confederate statue thing is that I get it. I get why some people will consider that it's like, well, it's part of history, and it's also part of, yeah. But I kind of see that as a that is a war situation. That's basically a kind of a war situation, meaning that there was a war in your country, and there were statues, and even new statues put up for some reason of people that were in these wars, but they're not all of the winning side, and I don't understand that, because in most countries, in most of human history, statues and artwork and all of that stuff is usually commissioned for the people who win the wars. And even if there are surviving statues or surviving depictions of the people on the opposite side, then usually if somebody basically says, again from the winning side, that we should take that down, it's usually a no contest thing. You know, nobody's around or left to basically say, actually I want that kept up. You know, nobody's there to argue the case, or even wants to argue the case for why something should be kept up. So that's again that's a thing in most human history, where wars have been fought, and basically these, you know, they basically get taken down because there's nobody objecting to them being taken down, you know. So I understand that. You know, with the whole Confederacy and all that stuff, and why people would take down those statues if they exist anymore. I get that. It's just I've never heard a good argument for why Confederate statues should be kept up. You know, you can't just say it's history, because then it's like, well, there's museums for that. You know. But yeah, are you asking about the Churchill thing I just said? Yeah, Churchill. Like, Churchill had some bigoted views. So what? You know, he hated the fucking Nazis, and he didn't like Indian people. That's it. That's his crime. He didn't like them. Some people are basically arguing the fact that he kind of like he diverted, because England owned India for some reason, way back then. England owned India in during World War II, and basically he diverted food from India to England and to other colonies in, you know, in the English Empire, the British Empire, during World War II. And because of this, India at the time also had a particularly bad famine. You know, they had a really bad, you know, crop year or something. So essentially, they had no extra provisions and stuff. Lots of people died. Many people died. It was a big deal and stuff like that. And people are saying that it's basically like, oh yeah, well, Churchill, he, you know, he fucking hated Indian people, and that's why that happened. And it's like, you can think what you want, and yes, that did happen, but I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced that is exactly why it happened. You know, unless I actually see a military order, a military, you know, prime ministerial order from Winston Churchill himself saying, it's like, I don't want to feed India. I want to feed, you know, because I hate those people. I want to feed South Africa or Central Africa instead, because I want to spite the Indian people. I'm not going to believe that he did it purely because of that. Anyway, this is why people hate Churchill now in the UK. For some reason, people don't like Churchill in the UK. You know, people are polled on it, and the majority of people in the UK still love Churchill for winning the fucking war. But there are a few loud people that basically are trying to get Churchill statues and Churchill paintings and people and places that have his name written on them taken down. Pearl does explain it. I didn't see a link. Anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. I've noticed there's a lot of like bashing of the British in a ton of things, and I'm totally okay with this being I'm totally okay with bashing the British. It's just that it's like for stuff that they're responsible for, you know. Do you know how many times that that Ireland has been basically royally screwed over by the English? Do you know how many times? There is no official count because it's so many. Throughout human history, the Irish have been fucked over so many times by the British, but essentially it's like it was in the past. We got over it, but then again, we're the Irish are the most lovely people in the world. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Anyway, what link? Okay. What's this one about? I think I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm feeling a bit tired.
Of a complex network of interrelated forces beyond anyone's control. Humans just lead short, boring, insignificant lives, so they make up stories to feel like they're a part of something bigger. They want to blame all the world's problems on some single enemy they can fight, instead of a complex network of interrelated forces beyond anyone's control. It's sad. And funny.
I guess. It doesn't explain everything. It didn't have captions, so basically I was like, yeah, I couldn't read. I can't read lips of cartoons as easily as I can people. Somebody showed me a link to the whole, there was like a There was a kid being incredibly racist to somebody, and then all of a sudden, one of the characters from Steven Universe appears and says, "Hey kids, don't be racist." And they're like, "Okay." And it was like, what the fuck was going on here? This was an advert? It looked real. When was this? Why do you have to say this? It was hilarious. I just don't understand why it's a thing. It's crazy. Anyway. Oh, anybody want to say anything or ask me anything before I go? Now's the chance. Now's your chance. I'm going to have some fizzy. I'm going to pee and then I'm going to have some fizzy. In case this is a goodbye for tonight, I've got to go get back to work soon, eat something, take care. Okay. Favorite book. It's a weird statement. So just imagined it as a faraway voice for some reason, you know. Favorite book. So, okay. Steven Universe hits a lot of topics like that. It wasn't a topic. It was literally just a kind of random, like 15-second thing. It was just like a mini kind of just like an advert almost, but it wasn't an advert. It was like a tiny PSA, you know. I was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, it was part of like some political thing that I was reading or watching. And then it kind of like it was just in the middle of it, and I was like, why? Why? Anyway, favorite book? I do not have one. I don't really do favorites because it changes, you know. I mean, I don't really have a favorite color because basically it's I've got like two, I guess, because it kind of alternates between blue and orange. Which I swear to God, by the way, I was talking to somebody. I was actually talking to Damon about this because of the like the smoothie stall, the smoothie shop that's called Orange, and how America is hilarious because you guys can't say the word orange. You know, you go orange, and it's like that's just noise. That's not even a word that you just said. It's like what orange? It's like yeah, that's just a noise that you made instead of orange. You know, orange, an orange. You know, which is it just the more south you go as well, I've noticed that the word just becomes more and more a sound, not really a word. I swear to God, I heard an American in North Carolina, not even that far south, in North Carolina, just say the word orange like this. Orange. Orange. It was an orange. What the fuck is an orange? That's just what we do not. You totally do, you lying bastard. I have been there and heard it, and Itchy has done it at least once as well. He can't say the word orange. You, with your hard R's, can't let this one R in this word take it completely over. You know? You just, ugh. Oh, word pronunciation gets worse in the swamps. No, I get that. I know. That's what I'm complaining about. Oh my god. But yeah, that's actually kind of funny. I'm trying to think of the favorite book, but all I can think of is like the Starfleet Technical Manual is pretty awesome. Like, I've read that thing so many times. It's awesome. I'm an engineer. What are you gonna do? You know? Yeah, orange. It's just orange. It was just orange, and I was like, "What? Wow." I mean, my cousin, when he was alive, of course, he once caught me because I couldn't understand what he was saying because he said the word "boyd," and I didn't understand what the fuck that was. What the fuck is a boyd? It's a boyd. A boyd. But he would have lots of these weird pronunciations for all of these weird stuff, and I just don't understand what it was. A boyd. A boyd. What the fuck's a boyd? What the hell is that? That's a book. The Starfleet Technical Manual, it totally is. It's a really thick one as well. It's really good. It's really good. A boyd. A boyd isn't a book. Right, guys, I am off. I could turn the heating on in here, but I mean that bar heater is on, but it's a bar heater. It's tiny. It's just stopping keep things from freezing in here. But this one's covered in cobwebs. It'll work, but the control panel is completely covered in cobwebs. So yeah. And since we didn't have any more ideas again, I'm probably going to be back tomorrow. I'll try to actually do something tomorrow. I mean, I did give myself the day off today, but I don't know. I'm just going to go be sad by myself. I could just get the mop out and just completely destroy it with the mop. And go around it with the mop, mopping off all those cobwebs. And turn it on. I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh no, I just made my... No. Come on. You're all eager to sneeze a second ago, bastard. Ugh. Oh, belly rubs. A belly salute. A belly itch, apparently. Ugh. See you guys tomorrow. Toodles.